Hey everyone, Full Throttle here, and welcome to the first episode of Premium Pick. Surprisingly, not a video with my face in it, but instead this is going to be more informative than comedic. Premium Pick is a series that will cover a different deck in Premium each episode, talking about the deck's strengths, weaknesses, playstyle, major cards, its current position in the meta, and my overall rating of the deck. To start the series out, we're going to discuss a deck that's been seeing a lot of play and a lot of success to boot. No Life King Assassin. So for the deck itself, its main focus is a combo between 2 copies of No Life King Death Anchor and 3 copies of Enigmatic Assassin. This combo gets you an extremely high number of attacks by constantly rewriting Death Anchor from the soul by calling out 3 copies of Enigmatic Assassin, so that your only limiting factor in this combo is how much counterblast you have. As this combo is pretty much an instant kill, the main thing the rest of the deck does is get you to activate your kill combo as quickly and consistently as possible. Among major cards, there's the obvious 2 of No Life King Death Anchor and Enigmatic Assassin. No Life King Death Anchor is already a powerful card on its own, as it can get you more and more protect gifts every time you reride and also forces more cards out of your opponent's hand, which gives both a strong defense and a strong offense in the same card. Enigmatic Assassin has been an amazing card ever since it came out in GBTO7, as it has allowed Dark Irregulars to constantly extend the amount of attacks they can pull off every turn. An interesting thing about Enigmatic Assassin is that because the attack step rules make no sense, you can start an attack step without attacking at all, allowing for you to then call out Enigmatic Assassin and attack with a newly called Assassin for the attack step. The reason this works is because the attack step does not need to be initiated by an attack for some reason, but instead, you can initiate the attack step, call an attacker due to the initiation of the attack step, and then attack with the newly called unit so that you can meet the final condition of the attack step in order to complete it. One extremely important card for this deck, aside from the obvious 2, is the new version of Blood Sacrifice Ruthven. Ruthven's ability to send a card from the damage zone or the drop zone to the soul means that even if your Enigmatic Assassins reach the damage zone, or if you have to guard with one, you can easily get it into the soul by simply using Ruthven's skill. Another important grade 2 in this deck is Heat Elemental Bobo. Bobo is a card that, for a very long time, was unplayable in any competitive deck. This situation changed drastically when Geese, specifically OTT Geese, became one of the best decks in the game. Since OTT Geese's main strategy involves dealing only 1 damage to the opponent normally through attacking, Bobo allows for decks to be able to reach their counterblast requirements by both countercharging and giving you damage to counterblast even more. I would definitely recommend this card in more decks than just this one, as it allows more decks to have a favorable matchup. On the topic of cards that were not good until recently, Free Traveler's ability to search your deck for a card to put into your soul allows for the deck to reach the Enigmatic Assassins much more consistently, although Demonted Executioner is an alternative that is free and fully statted, but does not have the guarantee of getting what you want. So really, it comes down to what you prefer, the guarantee or not having to counterblast. Also, another card with a similar function to Bobo is Beautiful Ouya. Since this card can help you have enough damage to successfully perform your turn, it is definitely a must-have, as there are several ways to countercharge, such as Ruthven and Vrukalikas, or through Monochrome. On the other hand, a card that has been welcome in Dark Irregulars ever since it came out is Monochrome of Nightmareland. Monochrome is good because it is not only a recycling trigger, but it is also a form of both countercharge and soul charge. Because of this triple whammy, this card helps the deck by recovering resources used, so you can counterblast a lot for Death Anchor and reach the 13 soul requirement faster. Now that we've gone through the most important cards in the main deck, let's start with the G-Zone with One Who Hunts Souls Balam. Balam is mainly used in this deck as a first stride so that soul is easily obtained and so you can quad drive, allowing you to get more chances at triggers and gain more hand at the same time. For another stride, One Who Splits Darkness Bledermaus is a great option for the deck, as in the rare chance you aren't able to kill on the Death Anchor turn, you can then recycle the deck because it's usually very small at this point, and then you can finish, as you will most likely have a deck of either all triggers or a majority triggers. The last major stride is One Steeped in Sin Charot. This card is able to wipe the opponent's board while also denying damage by attacking a rearguard, which allows for the deck to stall the game out if it has to so it can reach that Death Anchor turn more consistently. Now that we're done talking about some of the major cards, let's talk about its major matchups and how they play out. Against OTT Geese, this deck is very powerful, as Bobo is able to constantly allow the deck to get the damage it needs to really work and prevent Geese from doing what it wants, which is preventing the opponent from doing what they want, meaning that Bobo really takes out half of Geese's strongest assets. Against Choix, the game usually comes down to how quickly either player can get their kill turn to happen, making it sort of like a race to the finish line, with that finish line being their deck's main combos. Against Spike Brothers, the deck's low shield values hurt a lot when facing lots of low commitment early rush that the clan is very easily able to get against this deck, which starts to really add up over time as the game continues, meaning that this is not a good matchup. Against Lawr, it really comes down to if the Lawr player has Light Elemental Hanali in their deck or on their field. Hanali makes every rearguard to Vanguard attack for both players after the 4th battle of the turn have a cost of Counterblast 1. Because of this, it shuts down all but the first 4 rearguard attacks that a Death Anchor turn can have, and because of this, it makes guarding a Death Anchor turn require way less hand. In addition, it being a grade 1 means Lawr is able to tutor it very easily. In response to this, some people may run Gwyn the Ripper in this deck in order to kill Hanali, leading to some counterpicks, 4 counterpicks to arise. Among this deck's strengths, it has a very high kill potential and is very fast, which are very good things to have. For this deck's weaknesses, however, the lower shield values mean that against an early rush deck, this deck will have a bad time, and it's a lot brickier than other decks in this deck's level of power. Despite these weaknesses, however, it is very powerful, and everyone should definitely prepare to play against it at major events. For the ratings, I would give this deck a 5 out of 5 in offense, a 5 out of 5 in speed, a 3 out of 5 in consistency, and a 3 out of 5 in defense. Overall, this deck has a 4 out of 5 rating, and I can say with certainty that it is tier 1 at the moment. For example of a list, this one tied for 3rd at Grand Prix Akiba. As you can see, this deck is very solid, and it has all the cards I mentioned that were major cards. And overall, if you want to play this deck, you definitely want to look at this specific list as a base. And that's all for today, folks. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, be sure to give it a like. If you want to see more videos like this, be sure to hit that subscribe button, and if you have any suggestions, any thoughts, anything at all, if I missed anything, be sure to put that in the comments section. And as always, I am Full Throttle. Thank you for watching, and see you later.